Well, it was a really good college game. A lot of excitement. It's kind of the way you want it. Back and forth, and a lot of big plays for both teams. Mistakes for both teams. Things that we wish we could have back. I'm sure there's things they wish they could have back. But two good teams competing against each other like a heavyweight prize fight, trading blows. But I mentioned in the locker room how proud I was of our coaches, their plans that they had going into the game, and then the adjustments they made through the game. And our players' willingness to ride the wave, ups and downs, and just continue to go out and compete, play the next play. Most of the game, I watch faces and monitor body language and things. So if I feel like somebody's going south, I've got to go over and pick them up. Or if they're too enthusiastic and a little bit out of control, I've got to go over and calm them down. And one thing was interesting today in this game, I didn't really have to do much of either. The excitement that was generated at times by our team was timely, and we didn't have anybody that really got down on themselves. So they're starting to learn and get a feel for life lessons that will help them for the rest of their life to compete, stay the course, be able to take blows and then hit back. As far as the game, our ability to rush the football, again, I know we rushed for, I don't know, but I know we rushed enough to win. 146 yards. They were heavy stop the run, which we knew that, right? We said it in the press conference. It wasn't a secret. They were inserting a safety from inside out and put an extra guy in the box. And if we had to do it all over again, we'd probably throw more passes on early downs. But Casey is pretty entrenched right now and pumping the ball to Ollie. And you can't really blame him for that. So they came in with that frame of mind, in my opinion. And we were still in a position to rush the ball. And the improvement that we've made as an organization over the last 15 games is the ability to rush the ball when essentially they're stopping the run based on their defense. And those are things that we've talked about for a while. Our penalties were somewhat non-existent, 4 for 29, which is excellent. They had 55, so almost twice as many penalty yards as we had. Third downs were very similar, 5 of 14, 5 of 12. We weren't very good on fourth and short. I got out of my box a little bit. In most cases, I would have kicked field goals in that situation, but I felt comfortable with our ability to run, and I will give them credit for the fourth and shorts. They made plays. They had good calls based on the calls that we had. Earlier when I said that our team continued to fight through adversity, that can be a huge momentum swing, but our guys they knew that they were upset that we didn't get it, but they just came back in, sat down, we talked about it, we fixed it, and we moved on and went on down the road. The last play, well, I think they were 0 for on fourth down, right? I didn't look. Yeah, so they were 0 for on fourth down. Defensively, our guys have done a really good job on fourth down. And in the end, when they had the fourth and short, 4th and 4, whatever it was, 11, I hadn't had a chance to see him and talk to him yet, but really, really smart from the standpoint that you have to know where the sticks are. And we call coverages and we call a defense, and a lot of times a young player doesn't understand the importance of knowing where the sticks are. Because you all know, and I'm not trying to be funny, but if it's 4th and 4 and they throw it for 4.5 yards and complete it and you tackle them, it's a first down. It doesn't do us any good. And we have coached that, and we've talked about it, and we have coached it, and we've talked about it, and we have coached it, and we've talked about it all last spring and all summer and in August. And we practice fourth downs every Tuesday and every Wednesday. And it paid off for us today. It's paid off for us this year, but it paid off for us today. So I watched them because I knew they were going to throw the ball to Stoops. But it doesn't make any difference if I know it because I can't get that communicated to them. But hopefully they had a good idea. I haven't had a chance to talk to him. But I knew they were going to throw the ball to him. That's who I'd throw the ball to. And I watched them when they covered up and they went out, and we knew they were going to run him in the flat. And 11 went downhill immediately. And I don't even know if he got a yard on that play. When he started to wrap him up, I knew the game was over, and then I took my eyes off of him. So it was smart football. We talk a lot about our team about being a smart football player. If you need to be a smart football player, then that allows us to be a smart team. And we stress that a lot, and that was smart football. So, again, I don't know what to say about Rashad Owens. Rashad Owens starts the year as a backup. And I don't know what his statistics are now through this part of the season. But he's a perfect example of you never know what a young man can do if he's given a chance and being in a situation. And starts the year as a backup and plays in the final Bedlam game ever after 118 years, and he's got 10 catches for 136 yards. So it's pretty cool when a young man gets a chance to play and it was willing to step up and compete and make plays. So those guys are special to me selfishly, and there's a number of them. But for me, I have a special place in my heart for young men like that get a chance to play and they're able to compete and make plays. I did tell the team and whoever else was in the locker room, I don't even know who all was in there, could have been anybody, that the one thing they should remember, these are special moments. And the one thing that they can take with them for the rest of their life is the thrill that they gave the fans out here in this game. There's been a lot of years and a lot of history and a lot of tradition with Bedlam. And our crowd is more engaged with our team than any of the years I've been here. I think it's about 36. I was gone for 5, so plus 30 years. And our crowd, our fans, and our students are more engaged with our team than ever. So what they did is they gave them a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And I made sure that they knew that they owed them, and here's why. Early in the year, we weren't coaching very well. And I told you guys that. After the third game of the year, our coaching was awful. And so we didn't play very well. And I told the coaches their coaching was awful, and my coaching was awful because I watched it happen, and we didn't play well. And then we practiced for 2 weeks and played a little better on the road, and then we came home, and they filled this place up. And then we played another good team, and they filled this place up, and they were going bonkers. When they didn't have to because we didn't coach very well early in the year. And I wanted them to know that that was a big win for the people out there for a lot of years, and for the last game for them to win Bedlam and give them a chance of a lifetime. So overall for everybody, obviously it's a great win. It was a heck of a college football game, and I couldn't be any more proud of the organization, the administration, the players, the fans, and everybody that's contributed to what we were able to get accomplished. Now, the real challenge will be rallying the troops tomorrow and getting ready to play another game. So in college football and pro football and high school football, it doesn't make a difference. We're on a pass-fail. After Saturday, we either get a pass or we get a fail. There's no in between. We end the game with more points than the other team, we get a pass. If the game's over and they have more points, we get a fail. Either way, when we come back Sunday, we have to discard it and we have to go to work. So the challenge for us now will be to stay healthy throughout the night, because I'm sure this place is going to be going crazy, and I told them that. Please be careful. And then come back and tomorrow enjoy it, but then when we go to work for the next game, we got to go to work for the next game. So we don't leave ourselves vulnerable. The only way that we can continue to play at a high level is to practice the way we've practiced, which has been extremely hard and fully committed every day in practice. And if we get sidetracked and we don't compete and practice every day and start thinking that we're better than we really are, because we're a good football team, we're not a great football team, but we're a good football team. We can't waste a day. So from that standpoint, because I know somebody's going to ask that question, I saved you the energy. The standpoint will be to regroup and get focused and move forward, good preparation to play the next game.
Mike, did you allow yourself to savor this a little bit in the post-game?
Sure.
The immediate, sure.
I did better than I'd done in the past. I actually walked off with, and then walked back over to thank the students, and tried to enjoy some of it instead of just taking off and running off the field. I wanted to be able to see the Oklahoma State people enjoy it. I want the players to enjoy it, and so I wanted to see a little bit of it. And then it got a little. I'm a little bit claustrophobic when it comes to that stuff, and everybody's excited. So then, well, you saw me. I went in the tunnel and was able to get in the tunnel and kind of stand there and congratulate them as they came in. And I want them to be able to enjoy this. This is a game where guys have to play and disregard their body to injury. And so when they get rewarded like this, they need to be able to enjoy that time. And I did it I did the same thing. I enjoyed it.
Will you miss this game? And do you think there will be a day in the future where you go, I've got to fight for this game and try to schedule it? Or
during the regular season? Yeah, it won't happen. I'm just giving you my opinion. We'll end up playing Oklahoma in bowl games. So the SEC and the Big 12 have ties in bowl games, and they don't have locked-in teams playing each other based on where you finished. So I'm going to guess probably not so far down the road, bowl games are going to negotiate around and want us to play them in a bowl game somewhere, because it's going to be sold out and it'll be a big deal. That would be my guess. But I could sit up here and tell you and make up a story, but they're going to end up playing in the conference they're going in. Are they playing 8 or 9 games now? 8. Eventually, because of the 12-team playoff, they're going to have pressure to go to 9. And when they do, they'll have 9. They have Power 5 scheduled for X number of years. Will they want to schedule what I would say would be an 11th game against another Power 5 and then go through a conference schedule? Maybe they do. But for Oklahoma State, we play 9 games. And then we have a Power 5 scheduled beyond that. And then this year we learned sometimes we play teams that aren't Power 5s, and if we don't coach well, they come in and get your butt whipped. And to take on another load during the season when we're trying to compete and get in a 12-team playoff at some time, what year does that start? Next year? Right, so see, I timed it up perfect. To think that you're going to go and schedule another game like that and then go through a grueling conference schedule to put yourself in a position is a poor business decision. It's a poor investment. It's not smart. Now, somebody else might feel differently than me, but I'm just telling you the way it is. And if somebody tells you different, don't buy it.
Do you think you'll miss it, the regular season, knowing it's there on the schedule every year?
I haven't noticed it, and I said this in the Monday press conference. I'll notice it more next year when I don't really watch and see what they're doing because I don't play them. You haven't been at all the press conferences, but like this year, I was talking about TCU, and then I realized we don't even play TCU. So I need to quit watching them, and I need to take notes on other teams that we're going to play. So that's when I go home tonight. Like I'll get a big chief notebook and a crayon, and I'll take notes on everybody we play while I'm sitting there drinking a Diet Coke. And I'll do that until I get double vision, then I'll go to bed. But the point being is, at some point when we're not playing them so it's not as important for me to watch them, it'll probably set in more so than now.
This win, though, today, does it mean something special because it is the last one, sure, especially considering OSU's
Sure, and I said that at the press conference. These are all one game. But what I said in the press conference is it is a special game because we don't have pro football in the state of Oklahoma. So all week, somebody wears orange, somebody wears red at work. They jab at each other. People, get on Twitter or X or whatever it's called and have fun. So it's a big game. And it's good for the Oklahoma State people to finish Bedlam with a win, period.
You talk about guys putting their bodies on the line with injuries. Ollie Gordon, one of the last plays before half, got nicked up a little bit and played the rest of the game. I mean, what does that say about his work ethic and just his willing to keep going out there, and then also how is his health right now?
So I think he's fine. We took a pretty good hit at West Virginia, injury-wise, and then we had a couple guys today get banged up. We want all of them to be healthy, and we're a better team when they're all healthy. Unfortunately, this is a violent game and people get hurt. But the power of the group of 38 people that play, so you play about 14 or 15 on offense, you play 16 or 17-ish on defense, and then you play an additional 5 guys or so on special teams most of the game. So those numbers, 40-ish, 42, something like that, the power of 42 to overcome an injury of 1 or 2 has to be prevalent. It has to be stronger. And that's what we've been able to get accomplished. Now, guys, I'm not saying that not having the starters and the original guys in there, it's easier. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we don't have a choice. And the other guys have done a good job. They've stepped up and played, and they've made plays. It's like Leon Johnson, right? Leon had 5 for 70. Leon didn't even play till last week. And he had 5 for 70. So it's pretty special in that situation.
Mike, I know you kind of talked about what it means for Oklahoma State, but as a kid who grew up in Midwest City, went here, took a recruiting visit to OU, what does it mean to you personally to win the last one?
So, the thing is, did you guys see the article? Somebody wrote an article, they texted it to me, about trying to win a second Heisman Trophy. Did you guys read that article? Are you guys not on Twitter or whatever? What the hell? Huh? So somebody wrote an article on how difficult it is to win a second Heisman Trophy. And the article was based on the SC quarterback, and then it goes all the way back to all the guys that were in a position to win a second Heisman and didn't get there. And they had interviewed Archie Griffin, and it was interesting. He said, I want somebody else to win it twice just so I have company. But in there was 3 or 4 really good quotes from Tim Tebow because he was in that situation. And one of the quotes was when he was there at the ceremony. In fact, I think Bradford won it that year. I think so, that year that Tebow was trying to win his second one. That he was in the bathroom throwing up because he was nervous, not for himself, but he was nervous because his mom was there, his dad was there, his sister had come home from Bangladesh on a mission. His president of his university was there. Could have been the governor from Florida for all I know. All these people were there. And the point of the article was this. He said, I wanted to win for them. He said, I was okay because I understand the grind of football. And I think that would be a good answer. For me, I go to work every day. I go to work at dark and I go home at dark. So I don't know what else is going on in the world. But I have family. I have kids. I've got parents, these fans. I want to win for them. I'm okay. I get it. I get to go back to work and grind. Doesn't really bother me. But I am very proud, and I'm glad that I'm standing here now with us winning. So I don't want to discredit it one bit. But I want to do it for everybody else more so than me because I just go back to work.
Mike, talk about how important the win was from the Big 12 standing standpoint. You're still atop the conference.
Well, I'm not going to step into that yet because I don't want to jinx myself. I'm not superstitious, and I don't want to start now. In that there's a lot going on with it right now, and that's why it's so important what I talked about earlier. Guys got to come back to earth here in about 36 hours, and we got to go back to work.
You talked about the young cornerbacks making plays at the end of the game. How do you think maybe getting roughed up a little bit at Iowa State and just their development this season prepared them?
It's a tough time to those guys, I'm shocked with 7, 3, 8, 10, and 11 playing out there in a big moment and challenged by a good offensive team that plays fast and doesn't give you time to think and get lined up. And they have exceeded what I thought they could do from a competition standpoint on the big stage because they just don't have any experience. And the good news is they'll all have experience in the next few years. But they've played well. So it's been fun, right? I mean, offensively, we've exceeded what anybody would have thought that we could get accomplished rushing the ball. I mean, I don't think anybody in here could say, we figured y'all would start rushing the ball like that, right? You guys were just wanting us to get 20 yards. And those guys have done the same thing.
6 weeks ago was the Iowa State game, your second straight loss. In your mind then, were you confident you guys would be able to improve this much, win 5 straight games, be in the Big 12 championship driver's seat?
No. I don't think if anybody in here says that we would have gone on this run the way we went on it, you need to go to Vegas. What I was confident in this, if the team will just listen and the coaches will work hard. We didn't coach very good. So I challenged them. We have smart people in that room. And I challenged them to come up with answers and then be able to get that information to the players. And then I'll handle the rest. Let me handle the mojo. I need you guys to coach and coach your ass off because we haven't coached very good. And it was a challenge for all of us. And what I shared with the team is this, that if you're willing to grind and practice hard, because there is no substitute for hard work, that good things will happen to you. And fortunately, it started to, and then it just kind of rolled, and then now you have enthusiasm and you have success, which are contagious. And it just kind of kept going from there.
Thanks, Coach.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys.